So thank you and great morning. How's everybody doing? Everybody well?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, let me see your teeth. let me, first of all, just as protocol would have it, welcome each of you to the amazing, bold new city, Jackson, Mississippi, on behalf of more than 175,000 folks who represent this city and who call themselves Jacksonians. And we say proudly that we are Jackson. And I want to tell you how important we feel about this event today. The fact that we've been talking about the fact that Jackson has the potential to become what we like to say the next Silicon Valley if we really expand the scope and expand the passion of the people who are here and bring some synergy to a lot of the silos that may be around the city. We've been saying this. And so all of a sudden, lo and behold, Real Bishop starts to call and continues to call and doesn't stop calling and sends an email after the call and then a call after the email. And so our team gets involved and we start talking to a guy on a conference call named Mike Green, and Mike Green is talking and I'm saying to my team, I'm saying, this guy is for real about this stuff. I don't know if it's real, but he is for real. And we find ourselves here. There's a poem that I always recite at the end of motivational speeches that I do. But instead of me doing it at the end of the day, I want to do the poem at the beginning because I think it will capture what we believe the opportunities are and what we think TECHJXN Hackathon, the things that are going on today, what it says. The poem's written by Benjamin E. Mays. Dr. Mays, President Morehouse College, and phenomenal thought leader, phenomenal philosopher, phenomenal writer, phenomenal professor. So Dr. Mays says in a poem entitled God's Minute, I have only just a minute. Only 60 seconds in it, forced to come, you can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. Because I must suffer if I lose it, give an account if I abuse it. It's just a tiny minute, but eternity is in it. So what Dr. Mays essentially does is he captures the essence of what time means. He bottles it in a few stanzas. He articulates it to us so that we understand that what we are doing right now in this moment, that what we're doing, it matters, and it doesn't matter just for now, but it matters for generations to come. What happens in Jackson over the next 48 hours, and I want you to understand why you're here, and I want you to think that you're sitting in another summit, that you're sitting in another session, but the people who are in this room, if you really have a passion and a love for Jackson, I need you to understand that you only have this moment. And so this moment has to matter. Why does it have to matter? In Jackson's vision, we have declared loudly that we want to become a destination city. That we want to become a city that is a leader in innovation, in education, and in infrastructure stability. Let me repeat. We are a leader in innovation. And you can't be a leader if you're waiting on somebody else to do it. I'm a member of the Mississippi Conference of Black Mayors. And we go and we represent small towns throughout the city, throughout the state, the towns, the cities, the villages. And we've had an opportunity to speak to a lot of the federal family, federal agencies. And speak to the federal agencies, we made presentations of Chula, Mississippi, where you go to Chula, Mississippi, and you'll see areas of blight and degradation that remind you of a third world country, where if you go to Itabina's electrical grid is being run by car batteries. All right. Let me say it again. In these United States, in 2015,
in these United States in 2015, Intervena, Mississippi, not 2.5 hours from here, has an electrical grid that is being run by car batteries. What is even more discouraging is that Intervena is primarily known for a university. We must lead in innovation, and we cannot wait on Superman to do it. Especially when the Supermans that we seek are in the rooms that we don each and every day. This innovation has to come from us.
Yes, sir.
But there has to be what is known as self-efficacy. Do you believe in what's in you? Do you believe that there is something in you that transcends a flag? Do you believe that there is something in you that transcends Jim Crow laws? Do you believe that there is something in you that says we are bigger than the painting of our history, and that Jackson, Mississippi can lead and model in innovation, education, and in infrastructure stability? So how does that happen? It happens through the creation of opportunities. It happens when leaders, when thought leaders, when people who are not shackled by the limitations of their imagination.
Yes, sir.
Reverend Rose, if I was in a different setting, I'd say something like, you are the very essence of who God is. God had an imagination, and he envisions a place where life was. And so instead of him simply thinking about it, he started talking about it. He says, you know what? I think I want to see something, let's call it life. Bam. You know, I think I want to see some things in the air. Let's call them foul. Let's see something's got to be in a firmament, and we want to call it. And he just started talking out loud. Don't you know you got the ability to speak what you see, and then the ability to latch on to the right network to see those kinds of things come to pass, but you have to believe.
Yes, sir.
So in our city, what we believe, Mr. Minifield, is that there is opportunity that is captured in this single moment. We won't have this moment a year from now. It'll be gone. It won't be here. If you're waiting on somebody to lead the movement, and I think as my brother Holyfield would say, if you're going to be a bench warmer in this movement, it ain't going to happen. But you got to get in the game. And in some cases, you can't ask the coach to put you in. You got to run out there on the field and tell somebody that I'm in and you're out. I think I got 5 minutes. Let me finish. Reverend Al Sharpton has been quoted as saying, when he was asked about the passing of the baton or the passing of the torch, and there were some young people that he was talking to, and he was saying, well, we want to get out there, we want to lead, but there's nobody, they're not passing the baton. Nobody wants to get out of the way. They don't want to allow us the opportunity. So Reverend Sharpton simply says this way. He says, if they don't want to pass you the baton, take it. What am I saying? I'm saying that there are opportunities in this city that have not been afforded to us before. So as we start having conversations about inclusive competitiveness, we're talking about how do we get a group of folk who have not been considered to be a part of an economy that makes our city go around. How do we do that? You know, I shared with a group last night, and I've been talking about the unemployment rate in the city. In fact, we're at 5.5%. We're excited about that. Unemployment is going down. We're below the state. The state is at 6.2. Some of the places that y'all love more are in some cases 5 and 6 points higher than this. So I just want to toot our own home. That's good, but it ain't great. See, jobs isn't the problem in the city. There are tons of jobs. Jobs are everywhere. The question becomes, are these the kinds of jobs that will give us the opportunity to see our people better today than they were yesterday? Are these the kinds of jobs that moves our MHI from below the southeastern average to an average that speaks to other folks and says, this is the place to be, baby, because in Jackson, a part of their vision is not only to lead in innovation and education, as well as in infrastructure stability, but it's also to create an environment that is conducive to the entrepreneurial spirit. Well, we say to you, you know what? We're going to make the environment right. You know what? We're going to make sure that we remove as many of the barriers and impediments as possible, and then we're going to say, go get them. We're going to say there are tons of problems that are in this city, and they're looking for somebody to be the inventor of the solution. Here's what I believe, and I'm done. I believe that God has created you uniquely for a problem. See, everybody asks the question, what is my purpose? You won't find your purpose until you find the problem that hurts you the most. Until you find the problem that keeps you from going to sleep at night and wakes you up early in the morning, you have not found your purpose. And I am telling you that innovation comes when people are determined to be a solution to the thing that everybody goes to sleep on. It's in the room. Will you be a part of the movement? Will you help us to be a part of what President Obama calls this movement? He says that this movement in inclusive competitiveness has to be one where we engage everybody. Whether you're a high school graduate or whether you came out of the finest universities. We simply believe that it's something in you. And so we're glad that the hackathon is here. We're glad to have this movement that says that TECHJXN will be this new part of what we've been calling our creative economy. And the creative economy in the city of Jackson that makes us rise from the ashes of the past, where we're able to sit atop and say that this is the apex where we've been called to. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm done. I simply want to say to you that this is our moment. And this is our time. And we cannot afford to waste it. Thank you for your opportunity.